Well, gents, it's your boy MC, and boy, do I have a treat especial for you guys. Let me go ahead and get the camera flipped around and I'll show you what kind of project we got going on during the snow. So as you guys saw in the thumbnail, you'll notice that this is a complete 100%, zero modifications needed, can return 100% back to stock, 8S 1250 kV Spectrum Firma. Crazy, just bolted in. All right, gents, let me go ahead and explain the big block build so far. So this is the factory motor. This is a 2050 or 20, right there. It's a 2050 kV Firma Spectrum ESC. That is the stock 6S motor, brushless motor that comes in the Infraction, V2, and the Felony. This right here is a stock 1250 kV motor out of an Outcast 8S. You guys were watching earlier in the video, or one of my previous videos, you'll notice that this is the one that the shaft snapped on when I was out in the snow. So when I called Verizon, they went ahead and sent me one out under warranty. This one right here. But in the meantime, I was waiting for this one in the mail. I went ahead and I started mocking up this one, this giant can big block upgrade, into what is now the Infraction 8S. So let me go ahead and dig in a little further for you guys. I will say, just look at the size difference. Diameter can, the height of the can, everything. Thing is just way beefier, way lower kV. This should allow me to really crank up this Infraction well past 100 miles an hour. As you look, the new one is installed right here. I was able to keep it so where the heat sink and fan is also still on. I see a lot of people trying to do this setup without the heat sink and fan. I'd rather keep the heat sink and fan on it, and I was able to do so. Just took a little finagling. You unbolt this little bolt right here on the bottom, this one right here on the bottom, and this one right here on the bottom. And this little flap flaps out of the way and clears the backside. Because what ends up happening is this goes ahead and rubs on the can right here when you're trying to install it. Throws everything out of whack. And as soon as you get the can in here and installed, you can go ahead and just put those 3 screws back in. Now I'm using the exact factory engine / motor mount and motor slide. It's exactly the original one. I'm using a 25 tooth pinion and a stock 39 tooth spur. That's good. That thing's probably a little overkill, but we'll check temps and everything on the runs. This is an 8S ESC Spectrum Firma 8S ESC out of an Outcast. This is the factory 6S one, and you can just tell the beefy size difference. The other one's way bigger. Way bigger fan, bigger everything. Bigger bullet connectors. That's one of the main reasons why when I swapped it over, I went ahead and swapped it over to 8S. And now if you look, took 0 modifications. Oh man, look at that size difference. The little one up top is the stock 6S one, and the one on the bottom is the 1250 kV out of an Outcast 8S. Man, just look at that can difference. And I just think it's awesome. Now I haven't had to buy any motor slide or motor mount or modify or drill any holes anywhere and tap stuff. This is a simply bolt-in, plug and play, keep all your factory electronics if you want to throw them back in, type of speed build. And we'll see if we can get out of this without having to modify any parts. Now going into the ESCs. There's the 6S, there's the 8S. Now it is a little tight right here, but this is able to go in the factory stock location. Okay, the ESC bolted in the stock locations. They actually had little provisions for mounts down here to run these mount holes. They had places for you already to thread in the 8S ESC, which most people probably didn't know that. I didn't know that until I started doing this build. Now, the only thing that kind of sucks about this build is you just have to run your battery wires a certain way to keep the slack out of them, keep everything nice and tidy. On top of that, I did the whole zipper mod with zip ties here to keep everything nice and spaced out between the cables. the A, B, and C's that go to the ESC here. Now everything is fit in there perfectly. I mean, it's a little snug right here, but it's nothing, like you can just turn it. Oh look, it's not even that snug. I mean, it is just a beautiful fit. Way to go on that arm. I will say that was an awesome design. Awesome design. It just bolts right in. A big block motor. Bolt right in 8S upgrade for the Infraction. Now let's get ready to take this thing out for a rev. Take it and go bash it a little bit, and maybe I'll tape my phone to it and get some speed runs for you guys. What's going on, guys? It's your boy M Speed, and guess what? Infraction 8S. Parking lot's a little damp, but we're gonna make do. And we're gonna see what kind of speeds, burnouts, and fun kind of little hooligan stuff we can get into today. Well, gents, the speed run was not successful. As you can see here, only was getting about 50 miles an hour because it couldn't get any traction. And it got real squirrely. So let's go ahead and set up some camera and get some flybys and some fun shots for this thing. One of the things I forgot to mention to you guys, gents, is I got this bull bar right here, and it's a metal air dam down here, down below. So it's all metal, it all screws together, it all bolts on. And the few times I was trying to get top speed, I flew off into the grass a few times. So this has a little bit of dirt on it, but it did its job. The body still looks perfect. Well, gents, other than it being dirty and being a little warm from doing all that burnouts and stuff like that, yeah, it's a little warm. Lipos aren't warm though. Look at the back tires though. They are definitely need to be rotated to the front. Look at the front. Look at the back. Well, gents, I'm gonna go ahead and take this back, clean it all up, rotate the tires, and then I'm gonna go ahead and try and get some speed runs for you guys. But until next time, gents, this is M Speed. Keep it motorfied.